Oh, the weather outside is frightful,
but inside is so delightful.
It's Christmas in July.
Let's review.
Let's review.
Let's review.
You
and me. Season 3. Bum. You get the first bum, right? You get the first bum? Is that how it goes?
That's how it goes.
All right. I think next time we'll get it completely right. How about that? All right. Oh, God. I think we got our timing right on the season, though, right? Am I on tempo? Am I on tempo, sir?
I think we'll get it next time.
Oh, God. Okay, well, Dragon, you and I might be off on our intros, but you know what show always nails it over the head 1,000% of the time?
What?
It's the...
Wait, one more time so people can hear you.
It's the Movie Machine Podcast. It's what happens when you take 4 funny people and improv a movie based on a random story generator really, really fast, featuring Kyle Decker, Ben Lifson, Jacob Gulliver, and a rotating host of special guest stars. It is marvelous. It is wacky. It is insane. It is crazy. It is all the humor that you want out of the folks who brought you Super Academy in podcast form. HotChocolateMedia.net. All right, BlueDragonFive. All right, so tonight we're going to be talking about Merry Christmas from Cleveland Show. So, yeah, I gotta say, BlueDragonFive, Cleveland Show's not a great show. I think the one function that it serves that you and I kind of agree with is it was kind of like the Seth McFarlane show that was still kind of tolerable and still delivered some laughs, some good gags here and there, while Family Guy was just starting to seriously go on the decline.
In Cleveland Show, they brought something to the table that they were trying, and you'll notice, like, the first season's the best, second season, it's still okay, and then 3 and 4 is when it starts to, like any show, especially Family Guy currently, is when it starts to have that decline.
Oh, yeah.
And, primarily, first season, basically what they're trying to go for is kind of Family Guy with more soul and more heart is what they're trying to do. You know, basically, obviously it's still played for laughs and everything. It's a different show, but basically, you tell the music and the style and everything, it was just kind of, again, more, it was its own distinct style. And 2 is still, they have good ideas in 2. And this was one, bringing in Carl Reiner as Murray, as kind of Rallo's friend. He comes back a lot, and he's a lot of fun, Carl Reiner.
Yeah, it's a decent special. Like, I think out of all the ones that we've reviewed so far, it's probably my least favorite. Having said that, I think it's got some really, really fun cutaway gags on McFarlane's part. We
keep running to this thing when we talk about Cleveland Show. Let's hang completely on Seth MacFarlane's show. It's more Mike Henry's show than McFarlane's.
Yeah, I know. You keep grilling me about that.
I'm just saying. Just to show you, the last 2 seasons, Seth MacFarlane didn't even do any voices on Cleveland Show. He had out of his character. He's still in his character in this one. He's Tim the Bear. Actually, I don't believe Tim the Bear is even in this episode.
No, he's not. He's not at all.
Really? Oh, no, Seth MacFarlane's the doctor in this one, so he has a little small role in this.
Right. He's just kind of got a walk-on role as like, generic Seth MacFarlane voice.
Yeah, but eventually, again, it's so great. Well, I'll get to it when we get to the episode anyway.
Okay. So, yeah, I really, I remember kind of skimming through Adult Swim here and there, and Cleveland Show would be on in reruns, and I'd be like, all right, this isn't bad. I can get with this. It's a nice way to kill a half hour.
And again, it's a fine, the first season's a fine show.
Connection to it, other than that, you know what I mean? It's a nice filler show, I think.
Yeah. Again, it started out really strong, and then it just kind of it devolved. It was still solid at this point, but you'll tell it's not as good as the first Christmas special, which is in the first season we talked about. Just case in point.
And this is the second Christmas special, which is kind of like the traditional place for Christmas specials is the second season, as we've kind of been noticing in the trope territory we've been getting to.
I'll give them this. One of their Christmas specials was basically their Blue Harvest, but for Die Hard instead of. They did a Christmas special. Basically, they're like standing out in a manger, and they're basically telling the story of Die Hard, but they're casting the roles of the characters. Yeah. Anyway, so I guess we should get started.
Yeah, let's get started. Da, 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 da.
Okay, so
We
we
don't
have
get that awesome theme song, but we do get a nice opening credits with all the family's Christmas ornaments.
notice they do around the holidays always, and also Mike Henry again. We talked about this last time. The guy should have a Christmas album. He does pretty good with the Christmas songs.
Why doesn't he have a Christmas album?
So yeah, we have
Mike
this.
Henry sings the holiday classics. I mean, come on.
Yep, we got the we got the Christmas tree opening here. It's basically the title cards, which we'd have some of the special Family Guy episodes, and we have the Christmas special last year, where they're all kind of like our characters are ornaments on a tree. Really clever idea. It looks really nice. So we got we transitioned from there to the beginning.
I
of the
really
episode
love Cleveland as like the over the top, like heavenly angel on top of the tree.
Oh, yeah.
Look at me, I'm a snow angel.
Oh yeah. So let's see. So then we have we transition with some soulful Christmas music, a soulful Christmas song sang by Rallo's. I forget what he's 5 years old. What kind of class is that?
I would wager to say probably kindergarten.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
One is like his kindergarten class basically performed for the old folks home, and they're singing. Rallo's getting really into it. It's kind of sounding like a little bit like Elvis from that one. Crap, what's that one? Elvis song. Anyway,
Blue Christmas.
no, not Blue Christmas. He's singing like please. Darn, I forgot what this song. It's please come home for Christmas or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's see. So as Rallo's performing, he's really getting into it. It's a big hit amongst the old folks. And by big hit, we mean it's people who polite golf claps.
right. Oh, yay.
Yep, except for one gentleman. One gentleman's guy is in his wheelchair. He's turned away, looking all sour and grumpy. So Rallo grills this guy. He goes the cranky Murray.
And here we go. Would you say Murray's the Scrooge of the episode?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Murray goes to the Ark, yeah.
/ the E.T. parody.
Oh god, I love the YouTube parody.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
I mean, one could say Freight Train is kind of the other Scrooge. Again, maybe it's a case of
a fusion Scrooge.
And what we mean by that, folks, is we don't have a full Scrooge, because Murray kind of goes through his arc early in the episode. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he basically goes from the side of being crankier on the holidays to being through Rallo, but he goes through a full thing. I don't know. Maybe Murray's our full Scrooge, but then again, he kind of reaches his arc early in the episode. I don't know.
I think Murray's he just fits the Scrooge archetype pretty well, though. I think even though his arc ends early.
So maybe that was just an excuse for us to do Fusion Scrooge. So I mean, for what?
Fusion Scrooge.
I mean, I'm going to redact that one more time. I'm going to redact that.
Fair enough.
No, one more. I'm going to redact that. For Christ, you say Fusion Scrooge when I set you up for it.
Fusion Scrooge. All right.
Anyways, yeah, let's redact that from the records. Okay, so Murray is our Scrooge.
Yes.
That was a wasted effort. Okay, so cranky. We have a cranky Murray by the window side there, and Rallo tells him he's telling him off, and then he tells Rallo that he's Jewish, and yeah, we have there's some Jewish humor that does border on offensive, most definitely.
Yeah, that's another thing that I was really uncomfortable with in this episode. I've got to admit.
Watching this, I forgot how on the nose they were with that. I forgot just how on the nose.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. It's just kind of like I don't know. No,
I mean. And the reason it's probably would slide a lot better than what anything Family Guy's doing these days, it's because, aside from the fact they've given up all hope, the main reason is that it's from the perspective of a 5-year-old. That's the idea. He doesn't know what Jewish is, and basically, and it's kind of a dark thing. It's a true life thing. When you have people of other generations around you, like grandparents or just people, some depending, they might just classify the stereotypes of being Jewish. Like there's like an unnecessary kind of like their money, the money hungry, the stereotypes.
Sure.
And understandably, Rallo wouldn't know exactly. Rallo might not necessarily know what Hanukkah or being Jewish is. He's 5.
Well, Hanukkah is kind of like a complicated, unless you're the Pickles family.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, let's see. So basically, just he's saying, "Buzz off, kid. I'm Jewish. I celebrate Hanukkah." And again, we should mention now, voiced by the wonderful Carl Reiner.
Oh yeah.
Now, folks, just remember,
celebrity guest star.
Certainly, Carl Reiner. beloved comedy icon, director of The Jerk, Rob Reiner's father. He didn't direct that picture, but he's actually lives that. The father of Rob Reiner, the man who directed The Man with Two Brains. He's half of the 2,000-year-old man. A long line of credits. This guy wrote the Dick Van Dyke Show. Carl Reiner's big comedy legend, still with us to this day. Awesome guy. So, anyway, so Rallo doesn't quite get what Hanukkah is or what being Jewish means. Murray tells Rallo to beat it. He calls him, "Get that little pisher away from me." And Rallo believes the pisher comment to be racist, which leads to fisticuffs, a 5-year-old versus old man in a wheelchair. It's about to get heated, folks. And then there's an intervention by Mrs. Lowenstein, Miss Bailey. Basically, I love their names for each other. Says, "Well, what's happening here? What's going on? He's a Jew racist. He's a black anti-Semite."
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, okay.
No, that's fine. But it's like, again, it's the absurdity of 5-year-old versus old man.
I guess.
Then again, some of the humor I think is fine. Some of it is a little on the nose offensive.
Yeah, to me, it's just kind of like I just straight up saying like, "Oh, ha ha ha, anti-Semite and Jew," and ha ha.
I mean, like Rallo being
racism, yay.
I mean, Rallo being on the assumption that Jewish means not being good at sports. I mean, that's a little much.
Right, exactly. I don't know. Look, man, all I'm saying is like it's certainly not as bad as Modern Family Guy, and there are a lot of gags here that do hit home for me, but it's just these sort of gags are just not one of them. And it's honestly kind of why I have a hard time with Seth MacFarlane shows in general, because, especially like even with American Dad too, I feel like with American Dad, a lot of stuff in American Dad is really clever, really funny, sometimes pretty heartfelt, but then other times there's just like, oh God, why do you have to go there? I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah, I just really wonder on that show why Roger's still alive and why hasn't anyone killed this guy by now?
Right.
Saying he's so unlikable. As much of the show is like, it's like he's just so unlikable. Anyway, let's see. So again, they're mixing it up a bit there, explaining why they get into a fight. The orderly, Miss Bailey, tells Murray to can the folksy racism, which again, that's true. Old folks do get into their folksy racism. Again, they'll have some true to life comments there. And Rallo explains, he didn't know he didn't know Jewish was a religion. He thought it meant, again, the misconception, which again, I'm fine with this because again, it's explained the misconception. You understand, 5-year-old, this is what you grow up.
They do a lot of good job. They do a lot of good jokes, kind of poking around with Rallo's age here. So yeah.
Yeah, so Rallo pointed out, no, I thought Jewish. I didn't know it meant religion. I thought it meant thrifty or the ran the media, or can top any sad story with a much sadder story, which is pretty funny. Come on.
And then one of the nurses, she's like, "Ooh, a penny."
No, that's not. That's not the nurse. That's Miss Lowenstein. The Alex Borstein does the voice of Rallo's Jewish teacher, and she's pretty funny. That's Miss Lowenstein. She's kind of this desensitized.
Just kidding. And then she just goes back for the penny. I will admit that was funny.
See, I like the subtle. See, Family Guy nowadays, with Mort, their Jewish character, they go overboard with him. Like he literally had they literally gave him like a Star of David jetpack, which sounds awesome, but in the context, it was like he swallowed all his jewelry, then got away on the Star of David jetpack.
I don't. Yeah.
My point is, Miss Lowenstein, that's like they constantly use like, hey, he's a Jewish guy, he doesn't spend money, or he goes constantly for like the little change. And this is like a classy version of that gag.
Sure.
Like, I'm calling you on it, but no.
Right, like, I'm still taking the money, but I'm acknowledging the stereotype.
See, that's pretty clever. Okay, anyway, so after the penny gag, Miss Bailey suggests Rallo and Murray take place in this weekend kind of cultural learning program they have, basically where the kids would spend time with the old folks of differing cultural perspectives, so they can learn something from each other. Mm-hmm. Or vice versa, like old folks with the kids are different. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. It's like one of those BS programs. But no, I'm being facetious there. I mean, it's fine. So neither of them want to do it until they learn the alternative option. Well, they want to do it with each other, and they have to celebrate Ramadan.
All I got with the Jew, all I got with Brownie.
Oh no, it's like I'll hang out with Jewy, you hang out with Brownie.
Oh God.
Again, it just shows you how offensive something can sound when you add E at the end.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So let's see. So we got Cleveland and then the family trimming the tree again, not Lucy Ricardo style with scissors, but there's there's decorations. Let's see. Donna is a Lois in this case. Like early on, she started out fine. This season, she's fine, but after this season, when she starts to go down, season 3 she becomes lazy. Season 4 she becomes a terrible parent.
I think this episode she's really enjoyable.
Yeah, again, seasons 1 and 2 she's in the clear, she's fine. I'm just saying, seasons 3 it's lazy, and 4 it's like she's awful.
Okay. Oh god.
So again, just like she's a Southern wine mother, who's like let the kids do what they want, just give me my wine and my stories.
Oh well, we kind of see hints of that in this episode.
That's what I'm saying. They joked about it, like it's like something that moms do on the side, which is again from a kid's perspective. Okay, just mom has her stuff on the side there, which is again that's the tasteful version of it. Then again, it gets to the point where I kid you not, there's a really terrible episode of the Cleveland Show where it's just to spite each other. I guess they have like a pregnancy scare of some kind, just to show Cleveland. Donna pretends to be with child with a pillow cushion under her shirt. And this goes on for 9 months, and they both know each other's line. Who's trying to see who's going to admit to it first. And how ridiculous does that sound?
Yeah, doesn't sound like something I'd be interested in watching.
I'm saying that's season 4, though. Again, I just want to make clear. If you're ever going to watch Cleveland Show, stick to 1 and 2. Stick to 1 and 2. And mainly 1. Stick to 1. 2 has like some fun episodes like the live show, which is hilarious.
Okay.
Anyway, so again, they're decorating the tree. Donna tells Roberta to stop using her phone. This is the charmingness of Donna here, where Roberta's like she's on her phone, like she just keeps texting and whatnot. Donna says nope by taking her phone and taking her shoe and smashing the phone. And scaring the bejesus.
The pretty icicles on the damn tree.
Again, this is Donna when she was great. Yes, Mama. Yeah, she just goes to decorate the tree. Meanwhile, Freight Train, and again, Cleveland's parents were awesome for the most part. I mean, don't wrong me. The implications, they weren't the Freight Train wasn't the best of fathers. I'm saying they're played hilariously by Craig.
My whole thing with Freight Train not being the Scrooge though is he's a douchebag, but he is in the holiday spirit.
True, which is why we redacted the thing earlier. So Murray. Right. Absolute Scrooge. You're right about that, Dave. Absolutely right.
Okay.
And what I was thinking, we did a pointless fusion Scrooge, and now I feel bad.
It's like we wasted like 20 episodes of Dragon Ball Z to get to that fusion Scrooge dragon. I mean,
yes, and like God knows how many form changes.
Okay.
Like first there's a form with the mustache, and then there's a form with the goatee. Then there's a form with a bald spot, and then there's a form with 8 tons of hair. Anyway. So, but the Freight Train is played wonderfully by Craig Robinson from The Office. Craig Robinson. Right?
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so he does a great job. He does a great job playing Freight Train here. Anyway, so Freight Train's looking at the photo album for the holidays. There's this great, hilarious yet darkly hilarious picture of him and Cookie, Cleveland's mom, and a beaten Cleveland on his knee. Again, it's like a happy Christmas picture, except for like the poor fat child with a black eye on his knee. Yes, Christmas in 1975. He loves it. LeVar, Freight Train, recalls holiday sex on that day to Cleveland Jr. And by the way, Cleveland Jr. is the best character on the show. Just want to make that clear. Oh yeah, so Cleveland Jr. voiced by the wonderful and talented mantra to get into his characters. Daddy, will you wipe me? It's hysterical.
Oh God.
Which cracks Rob Paulson up, by the way. So, again, just Cleveland Jr. is this. I just want to mention, we don't talk about Cleveland Show a lot, really. So I guess squeezing in where I can here. So that Cleveland Jr. is so great about his characters. He plays kind of like an urban Kermit the Frog, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I haven't really seen enough of the show to really get the gist of him, but I like how he is kind of just an evolved version of what he was in Family Guy. He's kind of like a flipped mirror version of his character from Family Guy, and I think it's really interesting how they did that. Go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Might have some of that. And anyway, yeah. There's this hilarious episode of Cleveland Show. Actually, they poke fun at how he used to be different. Where basically they have this whole plot line where he knocked his, he drugged the old Well, it looks like I'm on my own here, folks. Let me take you through it. So basically, there's this hilarious thing where like the Cleveland Junior, our modern one for the Cleveland show, he knocked out the older one. He knocked out the older model with the hyperactive one, like injected him and took the other one's place. It's all part of this really elaborate thing. It's pretty funny. Anyway, I'm sorry to bore you, folks. Anyway, so Cleveland Junior has this hilarious line. I have mixed feelings about your visit. Sorry, folks, we can't do it like the master, but he's got mixed feelings about Freight Train's visits, because who brings up holiday sex to his grandson? That's ridiculous, anyway. So let's see. So Cleveland Jr.'s asking about the beating, looking in the picture. Yeah, well, Daddy, why do you have a black eye? You know, why does he have a black eye? What's going on? That is expounded upon by Freight Train. That's part of Boxing Day. Now, folks, Boxing Day is this magical holiday. When I say magical, I mean horrifying. It is this this holiday where, very much in the line of Festivus, which we might be talking about this season. Let's see. Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good. Okay.
Okay, so we're on Boxing Day. Tell the folks what Boxing Day is.
Okay, so the tradition for Boxing Day is that Cleveland's father, you know, being the thoughtful parent that he is, he wants to teach his son a lesson in personal strength. So the idea is, for every round he can survive with Freight Train on Boxing Day, he gets one present, and that's just, oh, what a glorious way to have a Christmas memory, right?
And yeah, without giving too much away, let's just say there's it's going to connect to another special we're talking about this season. So again, that's going to be a trope. That's fighting for presents around Christmas time.
Like literal physical boxing fighting?
I mean that, yes.
Okay. Oh dear.
Well, I mean, not boxing, but physical fighting, though.
Okay, I gotcha.
Not in like kind of the Rocky gear, but it's still pretty violent, I guess.
So I don't know. This is another thing that it kind of just makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable, is that this episode is essentially like making light of child abuse and basically saying like, oh, ho, child abuse is just a part of the Christmas tradition. And it's when Family Guy and Seth MacFarlane and just, and whatever, the MacFarlane verse, it's when the whole umbrella of this show starts to kind of talk about stuff like that I just get a little creeped out, honestly.
Look, here's the thing. Here's the reason I'm going to defend that in this case is that I think it's because it's played so absurdly that the running thing is Cleveland. I'm not saying it's like in the forefront. Whenever Cleveland's parents are involved, it's like his father seems like such an uncaring guy. Always putting Cleveland down. Always basically you get since these two guys never got along, mm-hmm. And with that, there was like you basically look at it like from an objective standpoint. Oh my God, this guy's a monster of a parent. Cleveland, like the mother gave him all the love, and then the father was just like such a monster to him. But again, it's his father, so he can't really hate him. It's like kind of that absurdity of that relationship maintaining itself. But really, with this is I love that it's. The reason I would argue it's funny is because he's a grown man acting like a child who was like just making excuses for Senior here, making excuses for Freight Trains. Like, oh, come on, like basically later on he's going to abdicate. It's like in a most loving delivery, like, no, Dad, you can do it again next year. Basically abdicating the most horrible thing, but in the most positive of ways.
And that is exactly what made me feel uncomfortable. And I'm going to awkwardly say to Steven to put a point up for subjectivity.
I mean,
look, I don't like talking about Seth MacFarlane shows, Dragon. You see why I don't like talking about Seth MacFarlane shows?
Oh,
do you see now? Do you see?
Again, I will point out, this is more Mike Henry than Seth MacFarlane.
The Seth MacFarlane umbrella, whatever. They all do it.
Well, yeah, now they all do it. The Cleveland show, again, this is back when it was we still had a balance of a little subjectivity in there. Now it's like completely one-sided.
But even you'll admit that this episode was a lot more harsh with some of its stuff than you remember it being.
I will admit that, yes.
So, I don't know. I got to admit, my friend, I'm sorry. I had a hard time with this one. There's certainly a few standalone gags coming out that I really laughed at that we'll get into. But other than that, I think this episode has a horrible message. I really do. It's almost kind of like blatantly just like, oh my God, like what were they thinking?
Yeah, I think it's just such an absurd message.
I feel like you're just kind of like taking it's absurd and just using it as a justification, where for me it's almost just kind of like, well, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just forewarning you. This is what's going to happen when we talk about subject matter like this, all right?
All right. Let's see.
Anyways.
So, yeah, Boxing Day explained here. So let's see. Every round one gift. Cleveland Jr. points out that hilariously again, this is get some good laughs from Cleveland Jr. here. I'm saying Boxing Day is a Canadian holiday where you box up gifts for the less fortunate.
Right.
And then Freight Train just saying Canada's gay. You know,
Canada's gay.
Again, it's like Freight just
that is a pretty fun, like, absurd line because he's like taking out all his manly aggression around Boxing Day, obviously Canadian holiday, and then being like Canada's gay.
Yeah. And again, last thing I'll say before we move on, I'm just thinking that Freight Train, he's just kind of holding the mirror up. Like, old school parenting was a lot more harsh back in the olden days, and just showing how the kind of stuff that breeds nowadays. Looking back on it's absurd.
I get it.
Anyways, again, it's a subjective.
I understand the humor. I just don't agree with it.
That's fair. I'm just highlighting. It's not all negative. I'm saying it was a positive intention, but it definitely has mixed results. I just want to make that clear. Okay,
fair enough.
Moving on. All right. So then again, just Don is asking, Cookie, how could you let this fly? How could you let this happen? She's the first time I've heard about it, which is a dark joke of that. Yeah, mother playing innocent. Just she doesn't. Whether she delivers it so honestly, like maybe it is the first time she's heard about it being discussed, or
right.
It's Cookie. You don't know if she's not paying attention, or if she's like the first time I heard about it.
Or just chooses to not pay attention and chooses to kind of turn a blind eye to it.
Yeah, but yeah, I love that you can see kind of Cleveland's personality come from both parents. You have kind of like the distracted, kind of innocent one from Cookie, and you have kind of the fundamentals of Freight Train. There's a far less milquetoast version of Freight Train.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. So, let's moving on from that. Freight Train wants to start up the Boxing Day again. Cleveland says, or how's this? A tradition like dressing up in cowboy boots and underwear and dancing in cowboy boots in our underwear, huh? And Cleveland Jr. is like, Cleveland Jr. is down for that.
Ahead of you. Oh.
I
can't do the Cleveland Jr. voice.
I can do like snippets of it. Again, we got to leave it to the master on this one.
Right.
Get my words. Anyway, so meanwhile, Rallo and Murray, they're off to a great start.
Oh yeah.
We see,
I like how Rilo just kind of he logically points out that it is hard to spell Hanukkah.
Yep, because sometimes there's a C in there, sometimes there's not.
Right, it's very confusing.
Which is why you'll probably find various spelling mistakes in our past Christmas in July videos. It's like the Rugrats one's Chanukah, and it's bizarre. Anyway.
Isn't the Rugrats one supposed to be misspelled?
That's the thing. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure the Rugrats one is supposed to be misspelled.
The thing, though, is I think the episode's actually spelled like Hanukkah with an H, but it's said like Chanukah. That's the gag.
That's the gag. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, so like they're off to a great start again. I love this dynamic.
We can't talk about the Rugrats because the Rugrats is a much better special, and we'll just get distracted.
But not as good as their Passover special. Oh my God, the Passover special is so good. Sorry, I really love that special. We never have occasion to talk about it. That's all.
I think the Hanukkah episode's a little better than the Passover.
Oh, Passover's way better.
I think Monkey would argue with you on that one. But
I thought he agreed with me on that one.
Does he agree? I thought he really, really loved the Hanukkah episode, though. Anyways, Monkey, if you're watching, what do you like better, the Hanukkah episode or the Passover episode?
Anyway, so Monkey will know if you didn't watch this. So moving on,
we'll know, Monkey.
But seriously, we have this really fun dynamic of just kind of again the young black kid and the old Jewish guys like that. They're him saying, "Oh, not in school! What a surprise!" Again, they're very racist to each other, which is hilarious. They're very biased against each other.
And I will say, this whole dynamic is leading to one of the funniest, like McFarlane-esque cutaway gags that I've ever seen. And we'll get there when we get there.
You're not in school! What a surprise! Shut your blintz hole. Some absurd insults coming from one each other. Let's see. So I tried looking up Hanukkah. I couldn't spell it, so I gave up. Again, that's the real mentality, folks. We can't spell something. Then it's like, okay, we're not going to try. If there's no autocorrect, we're done. Let's see. So then we get the you people with your sarcasm. You people. oh, you chosen people. Chosen to be a pain in my butt. And again, they're starting to kind of get into a rhythm with each other. It's kind of, again, it's like an insult-based friendship, which is kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Starting to form here.
Hold on, I want to see how easy it is to look up how to spell Hanukkah.
Well, I mean, it's easier than ever. He's a 5-year-old.
God. Never
Anyway,
mind.
so
Keep going. I'm just messing with my smartphone that I just got because I'm excited about my smartphone.
yeah, that's your Hanukkah present.
It is my Hanukkah present. You're right. Anyways,
so let's see. So, anyway, so he asks Murray, why don't you have any decorations after Hanukkah? He says he doesn't celebrate Hanukkah anymore, and there was like a good emotional through on with Murray's story. I think there's a nice little. I think there's some good heart in Murray's story.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Like I would argue it's the strongest element of the special, most definitely. Murray's stuff.
Just the Murray and Rallo stuff, just in general. Yeah, because that's where we get the fun up gag where we're about to get, and then also the ET stuff. And I think just that in general is the funnest stuff of the episode, like the best parodies of the episode. And yeah, you're right. Also, the best heartfelt stuff in the episode. So yeah, overall.
Yeah, I love the ending of this special. We'll get there. Mm-hmm. Because again, that's the thing. The Cleveland Show over Family Guy is that Cleveland Show actually did have a lot of heartfelt moments early on in the first 2 seasons. They actually did. They earned their heartfelt moments because they, as many laughs as they had, there were some like kind of absurd. In the absurdity of situations, there were a lot of genuine kind of heartfelt moments as well as laughs. So I mean, that's what the show had to its benefit.
Sure.
Again, early on, I emphasize that, especially seasons 1, all the heartfelt stuff. Season 2 had some good heartfelt stuff. Yeah. Let's see. So basically, he doesn't celebrate Hanukkah because he's anymore because he's alone, or anything really because he's alone. The only thing he celebrates now is a successful bowel movement.
God.
So Miss Bailey enters in, tells him it's nap time, and Murray has his cranky refusal. He doesn't want to go, doesn't want to take a nap, and yet in this moment, Rallo realizes being 85 is a lot like being 5. Dinner at 5, bath at 6, Wheel of Fortune, then lights out.
Lights out. I love the Wheel of Fortune thing in general. That's
yeah, but again, I love that idea. That, at the beginning of life and towards the end of life, you're kind of in the same boat. So of course these two would be friends. It's this bizarre logic of they would have a lot in common. They would.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Let's see. So and then we have like one of the good ones, Rallo. And you two, and they're starting the bond here again. It's like bonding over your folksy racism on both ends.
Right.
Let's see. So then we have a lonely Murray shot. Then Rallo's saying he's going to stop by tomorrow because I guess he's not obligated to stop by following that. But he's like, yeah, maybe I'll stop by tomorrow, see this guy. Mm-hmm. And there's don't worry, I wear pull-ups too. He was trying to comfort Murray there. Okay, meanwhile we got Cleveland Junior comedy. We got Junior asking if the mall Santa's real.
The mall, the real Santa, or one of his helpers? Because when I saw Santa at the mall, he was trying to steal the bracelet.
Yeah, basically, Santa's just a shoplifter at the mall.
Right. Which we're going to get to. That's going to tie to the tick.
Oh, it's going to be so awesome. I can't wait for that. I'll admit, full-heartedly, that one's far superior to this one. I'll admit. I like this one. Not as I would rank this over Goof Troop, but it's. I don't know. Now I'm thinking. I'm working on it. We'll see how I feel by the end.
I don't think I would rank this over Goof Troop. I don't.
It was.
Initially, I'm not a huge fan of Goof Troop, but I think at least Goof Troop isn't offensive like this one is to me. But
let me go through it. I'm having more thoughts on this. Let's see how I feel about it at the end. Sorry,
like a spiritual journey about which Christmas special is superior.
I'm so conflicted.
I believe in you, man. I believe in you.
Which path will I take?
Oh God.
Cleveland Show, or Goof Troop. Everything's at stake. Anyway, so moving on. So let's say Cleveland tries to maintain this peaceful high road as his father keeps kind of goading him into fighting, and his mother's asking, Cleveland, are you gay? Because if you are, that would. She always insults Donna. That's the gay, like the mother-in-law not liking the daughter-in-law. It's like. They're like, oh yes, you have somebody. Like she always insults Donna, like little things like dirty dishware. She's always very insulting towards Donna.
I hate to nitpick this, but to me, it's just kind of like mean-spirited humor that I can't really laugh at.
Yeah. I don't know. I always give that.
I don't know what else to tell you, man. I really don't.
That's fair. It's fair. I don't feel the same way, I guess.
I'm just like
anyways,
mean-spirited humor in general is just the type of humor I just don't really like.
Like mean-spirited humor, I think there's enough behind this that kind of gets it past that. But I mean, Family Now is all mean-spirited humor. Believe me, I understand that. But what's that wrong with mean-spirited humor? Look at the bullies in Ted 2. I hate the Comic-Con, a lot of the Comic-Con stuff in Ted 2 with the Tick.
Right.
But again, as much as I love the Tick and the actor behind the Tick, it's just that was really lazy comedy. It's mean-spirited comedy. It's like nothing to root for.
All right, fair enough.
Anyway, let's see. So, let's follow Matt insulting Donna. Donna asks why Cleveland doesn't stand up for himself, and let's see. So, basically, like Donna's telling Cleveland to stand up for him. She basically, as Cleveland standing up for himself, basically, yes, I've been abused. It's just saying, no, Donna, you're not going to tell me what to do. Basically, then she like slaps him around, it's like, ah.
Oh, your hands are so big and rough.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and then,
they are.
and then the question is raised: have you ever tried hitting them back? And then I love this. Again, Mike Henry, he's even in the very beginning, throughout, but especially towards the beginning, he's just the brilliance of his delivery on Cleveland's lines, where he gives him like the most regal delivery on the most stupid lines ever.
I think that's one of the fun things about Cleveland in this show that wasn't really explored as much when he was just on Family Guy.
Yes, and that's the thing. Like you'll notice, right, design-wise too, you'll notice Cleveland's a bit slimmed down considerably in the face.
Right, sure.
Because we want to make him a little more dynamic. We'll make him a little more quick and stuff. Because the old guy of Cleveland was a slower guy with a slower register.
Of course.
Now, in Cleveland show gets into his past and kind of his idiosyncrasies. Again, he's like he's kind of a man child. He's also kind of this. He has these absurd things. And he has like that regal delivery. Like I was a ceramics major. Like all these ridiculous lines. And in this case, he has this great one where he says, "Donna, I'm a cable installer. These are my livelihood." Really funny. Cleveland's put in an impossible position by Donna. And this, I'm not too crazy about looking back at it, but, he gets from point A to point B. So for the holiday's sake, I'll let this one slide.
Holiday pass? Just a holiday pass? Like a fucking Monopoly card?
Yes, Tiki.
Okay.
So the option is to fight freight train, fight his father, or fight his wife. And basically, she hits Cleveland into making that decision, and Donna decides she'll train Cleveland.
Okay, now we're about to get to the up.
Sorry, real quick, I love how before we get to the awesome gag of the episode. So I love he's yelling just to kind of have dominance over having the last word. He says, "What time?" Last word.
Last word. I won. Okay, so Murray's kind of complaining about the retirement home. He's saying it's like being in the prison. It's sucking the life out of him. And oh boy.
Again, they have a fun dynamic. Rallo asks why he doesn't leave, and I can't just leave by myself. He basically implying that he needs help. And then Rallo says, "I have an idea. I saw this in a movie." And Diggy wanted to throw it.
Oh God. Okay, it's something in a movie I saw that might just work. Oh my God.
So what do we see? Paint the picture for the folks.
Dear.
What do we see?
Okay. So Murray's in a wheelchair, and there's like, I don't know, there's like a few hundred balloons that's like floating him up, but it's not going as planned. Murray's just kind of like flying throughout the room, crashing into things, causing a whole bunch of destruction.
Rallo has to bring him down with the BB gun.
I love Rallo's rage. He's like, "Oh my God! Oh, that's not what happened in the movie, man! Oh, sorry, man. I'm only 5."
Jesus. It was so not thought out, like they didn't even get him close to the windows. He's right in the center of the room. They started a dream. So shoots him down with the BB guns, and then Murray explains it. I love this is a logical at its finest. Again, it's like, well, no, in the real world, this is what would happen when you try that sort of thing. And then it's pointed out, "Oh, Rallo, I just need you to hold the door open. It's heavy."
Yeah, but then we get a special cameo
by the man himself, by the way.
Yes.
This is
Ed Asner. "Hey, Murray, up yours!" And we see Carl Fredrickson floating away on the actual up house. Oh my God.
saying, "Hey Murray, up yours."
Then a plane that says, in real life, it would take way more balloons to float a house.
Like 9 million balloons, which has been confirmed by Pixar, by the way.
Cartoon equals lies. So I don't know, like, what I love about this gag is that, like, it factors into the plot. It's not just, like, a random pop culture cutaway joke. You know, it uses pop culture, but it's still kind of, like, just within the confines of Murray and Rallo getting to know each other. And B, it's just damn funny. I love the timing on it. I love Rallo's reaction to the chaos and how he's just kind of, like, overwhelmed with what to do.
See, I knew even if you hated the special, you'd watch it and you'd appreciate just for that one gag.
Oh yeah, of course, just for that one gag, sure.
I knew if anything else failed, that was my trump card. Like that was my Harvey Dent. That was my ace in the hole. I've got an ace up my sleeve, and that's Carl French.
Okay, basically, I like that. I like the ET stuff. Most of the other stuff either just doesn't hit it for me, or I'm not crazy about.
It's pretty much you're on the majority of the Murray story.
Basically.
All right, so moving on. So again, from the up gag, we then have a montage of Rallo and Murray hanging out. I think it's a really pleasant montage. They go to the deli.
The Guitar Hero version of Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah, they go to the deli. They have the black and white cookies at the deli, but
yes. That was great. That was great.
Yeah, we got Fiddler on the Roof, the Guitar Hero game at the arcade. We got they're reading Jufro Weekly. They go to a steam room, and then Rallo is armed with the construction net for the caution of low-hanging sacks.
Yeah, which honestly, I was not crazy about that.
Well, Tiki,
I could have gone without that gag.
That's kind of true to life, though.
I understand that. It's just, I just could have gone without it.
Okay, anyway, so let's see. So then, so after the low-hanging sex, this one's hilarious. This one's priceless. They're making snow angels, and somehow, despite the fact it kind of defies the laws of physics,
Murray, a little bit, yeah.
Murray, it's hilarious though. Murray makes a snow star of David.
Oh God.
Which is awesome, and I love this little detail. So after the day of fun and everything, they're eating pickles on a bench in the snow. I love this little detail that they're wearing protective sunglasses because when that sun's setting or anything, it's like you have the snow is going to be blinding. It's the fact they're wearing sunglasses. It's a little detail.
Sure.
Let's see. So what they're discussing, Murray's kind of lamenting on how fast life goes by. One day you're stooping Madeline Kahn, the next one you only wear one pair of shoes. Because with that, I just love the name drop of Madeline Kahn. You know who Madeline Kahn is, right?
You're gonna have to remind me. The name sounds familiar.
You've seen The Young Frankenstein, right?
Yeah.
Okay, remember Frederick Frankenstein's fiance?
Okay, sure, that's her.
Yeah. Also, her, and also, have you ever seen History of the World Part 1?
I don't think I have seen that one. No.
Well, the nymphomaniac queen.
It's not important. It's not important. I know who she is.
Well, it's Madeline Kahn, the
okay.
icon. So, let's see. So, what was I? All right. So after that, Murray refuses to return to the old folks' home. Rallo insists that he stays with him, and then this is pretty cute. This is a fun gag where they haggle over the rent of staying at Rallo's place, and Rallo thinks it's dollars and cents, where Murray thinks it's for hundreds. It says $4.50. Says $4.50. Basically, it starts out at $4.50, and they haggle down to $2.50 again. Rallo's saying $2.50. I knew you'd try the "your people" me. And now we're gonna fade to your people gag. Yeah, it's pretty cute. It's folksy racism on both spectrums.
Right. Then we get a quick pop culture gag where Rallo and Murray are roommates, and it's Jew and a half men.
Jew. I just want to point out of context that would be horrible for us. Hopefully, we don't have any enemies who are good editors.
Oh God!
Considering we do actually have enemies.
Maybe one or two.
Yeah. So after the Jew and a half men gag, we hear Donna, and Murray hides in the closet. We get the rationale for hearing voices that Donna says, "Oh, I was making a mix CD for Jesus' birthday."
Oh, Rallo, that's sweet. But Jesus has an iPod, sweetie.
That's a sweet line. I missed that, Donna. Why can't we have that, Donna? More. So Murray pulls an ET to hide as she goes in there.
I've seen this episode 3 times, and this always makes me crack up.
And folks, what we mean by that is, he goes inside, see all the stuffed animals, and basically a character looks identical to Carl Reiner.
Right.
Murray's head is sticking out, and she just thinks it's an exaggerated stuffed animal.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
And it works. So let's see.
Exactly like how the ET shot's framed.
Then we have somewhat of a Marx Brothers gag, and I'm sure you know about this famous gag. The old Marx Brothers gag where everyone's crammed into a room behind Groucho, and he's basically taking the lunch order, and like they hear like a cough or like sound like whoop, 3 hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah, vaguely. I remember.
Yeah, Mary, open the door. They all come. Mary, open the door. They all come piling out.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so Boris is doing like that with the lunch orders. He's asking for chopped herring, potato pancakes, 2 soft-boiled eggs on toast, and some rock soup.
Some rock soup and some hamburger on a stick.
I tell you, he can't digest hamburger on a stick. Rock soup's high in fiber and low in cholesterol.
Okay, well, Donna suggests that he have grilled cheese instead. So how about he has grilled cheese on a stick? All right, fair enough.
Little stick adds character.
And yeah, this is where we get the Donna gag about like, oh, I'm just gonna curl up with a bottle of wine and take my pants off.
There was a great reference which might inform future seasons of Christmas in July, where it says, "Have you been watching Curb Your Enthusiasm again?"
Oh no. Oh, okay.
Let's see. Then we get the grilled cheese line. Then we get the pantsless wine for Mom.
Yep. Foreshadowing what's to come.
Yep. So let's see. So Donna trains Cleveland. She's an ex-Foxy boxer. Using the term Nancy sets him off because that's what Freight Train probably constantly calls Cleveland. I believe that's what he calls him too. Which ends up getting Cleveland hit hard. I mean, really hard. He gets like hit and he lands. You hear the car crash under the hood behind him. I mean, that's a hard.
Right.
I mean, spousal abuse, guys. It's always one-sided. Come on. Let's see. So then there's the cupcake gag, and this is what you love Cleveland for. He was on the ground. Says, "Where did you get that cup?" Found it. This is the moments I live for in the Cleveland shows, having these absurd.
No, you're absolutely right.
And I love this fourth wall gag where it's they're about to get in the it's gonna be a long time training you, and then and we see on a screen it says we cut the eye. Essentially, we cut the eye of the tiger montage.
Just because it's too cliche, essentially.
Yeah, essentially, basically we cut the sequence for time. It's been done to death or something along those lines. Okay, meanwhile,
we don't have the Breaking Bad editor, so we can't edit an awesome montage.
No, we can't have the awesome Better Call Saul Marco montage.
Right.
Let's see. So Murray's living up, but he's starting to cough frequently up in Rallo's room. We then have a Cleveland Jr. ET gag where basically Cleveland Jr. is in the. But basically, Cleveland Jr. is in the role of Drew Barrymore reacting to E.T., and Murray's neck even grows, which is hilarious.
This is kind of like, again, I'm just going to say McFarlane-esque, okay? Can I just say McFarlane-esque? It's McFarlane-esque humor at its finest, where it's just taking a celebrity and resorting them down to just this, like, supernatural figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
I know Carl Reiner's not actually playing Carl Reiner in the episode, but still, it's just like, it's great. Anyways.
His love again is Cleveland Jr.'s Kevin Michael Richardson can just get into that high register of that girlish Drew Barrymore scream from E.T. And just to show you, basically Cleveland Jr. is the turn. Like, he's always been good through the entire 4 seasons. Cleveland Jr. never does anything wrong because he's just so great a character.
Oh.
Gag and the whole thing is that Cleveland Jr. The running gag, at least in the beginning, was that Cleveland didn't know whether his son was smart or stupid.
Right.
So there was like one point he had like a tally, like whenever Cleveland Jr. did something super intelligent or like have like a really basically he built a war machine armor out of pots and pans.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, he'll be like, "What? And this is what he asked for Christmas." It's like sounds like ridiculous. It sounds like the dumbest thing. Is again, just he doesn't. I'm not quite sure about him, or like he might kill us all one day. You don't know.
Yeah.
So let's see. So So Rallo is I love this though. It says, "Is he friendly?" It comes and goes. So Rollo's called away, and then we just have like, some more Cleveland comedy, some more junior comedy here, where he says, "What really happened with the Lehman Brothers?" So Miss Bailey is stopped by the house. She's looking for Murray. He looks up to see Murray kind of listening by the staircase down Cleveland Junior. He's just a little silent. Hi, as he's like mimic the hand thing, Tiki. Mimic the hand.
Hi.
Oh god, it's hysterical. Anyway, so this is and basically what's established in this scene, just to boil it down, is that Murray has bad lungs and he could die without treatment, as in he needs to return to that home, or else it's Kaputski for the guy.
And
Rallo
I
feels
honestly do
betrayed.
think this is a good kind of emotional conflict for Rallo, though. I think this is kind of the heart of the episode for sure.
Oh yeah. So Rallo definitely feels betrayed here, and Murray just uses the quality of life explanation. Like wouldn't you prefer 10 minutes with Nat? I love Cleveland Junior's line coming up, by the way. So what would you prefer? 10 minutes with Natalie Portman, or 10 years with Senator Dianne Feinstein? Then Cleveland Junior rejects with, I would just basically saying, I'd wish for 30 minutes with Cheryl Hines. What I love about that, again, Cheryl Hines is from Curb Your Enthusiasm. You know that, right?
No, I don't, because I've never watched Curb, but I think we might remedy that next July, maybe.
My point is that sure, have you ever heard the name Cheryl Hines, actress? No.
Vaguely, I've heard of it. Yeah, I'm sure I've seen her in stuff. I just can't really recall her. I just love that.
That's fine. I'm just saying I love just how random a pull that is of like just like of Cheryl Hines of all people. Not wrong, she's a looker, but I just love it's like such an obscure pull, such an adult kind of pull for Cleveland Junior. Yeah, just like so out of left field. Anyway, so Murray makes Rallo promise not to send him back to the old folks' home. Junior recalls how he had Herbert living in his suitcase.
Oh God! Now I don't usually like Herbert, but I will admit that Herbert is effective when he's used in very, very small doses like this.
In this case, it's Herbert. What I love, it's less the fact that there's an old pedophile in a suitcase, but it's more so that it's an old pedophile doing show tunes in a suitcase,
which is very appropriate for Herbert.
I mean, if you're gonna have an old pedophile in a suitcase, you might as well have one that can sing and dance. I don't mean like modern day creepy like singing and dance. I mean old time like kind of classic.
Do we have the song he's singing? Oh, there's no business like show business.
There's no business like show business.
Oh God. Oh no. Like I said, Herbert, when he's used on Family Guy, they tend to kind of like overuse him. But if they use him like very, very, very sparingly on this show and make random out of nowhere cameos here and there, I think he's an effective kind of spice to add into the mix.
Yep.
Anyways.
All right, let's see. So, Cleveland's boxing Kendra's arm fat to get ready in the last minute. Let's see. So then he's ready. Where the fight begins. Freight trains in his Creed regalia. This is Apollo Creed regalia.
Right.
They're all ready to box. They're getting into it, and let me narrate the boxing fight here. Freight train lands 6 blows on Cleveland. He gloats as he blows a kiss to Cookie, and it really gets Cleveland because Cleveland was a mama's boy. It's like, oh, now he's mad. He goes the freight train. He lands about. Overall, he lands 26 punches, but Freight Train, the only reason he's able to do that is because after the 6th punch, Freight Train has a heart attack.
Right.
This, out of fear, again, very childlike fear, like, oh no, I did something bad, instead of doing something like, oh, 911.
This is classic Cleveland humor right here. Classic Cleveland humor.
He runs like the Dickens. First off, he hides his boxing gloves under the couch cushions, which do not hide them at all.
Because, if there's one place police aren't going to look, it's that if the couch cushions are just suspiciously just poking out. Police are never going to check that.
I think I read it as he's not worried about the police. He's worried about like a little kid. He's afraid Dad's going to beat him even worse.
Oh, God.
So he hides the boxing gloves underneath the sofa. He runs out the door, gets into a car, and then he rams the car because he's just not looking around where he's going. Into another car. He runs. He tries to climb over a fence, but look, Cleveland is kind of top heavy, so then he just kind of he ends up giving himself a wedgie on a fence, and then he waves a flag of surrender pathetically.
It's just really, really fun physical comedy, right?
Very
there. Really
fluid animation too. Really,
yeah.
It's so it's all in one. It's framed so it's like all in one shot. It's really
sure.
It's after Cleveland's surrender by Wedgie.
We have the Seth MacFarlane's obligatory appearance.
Not as good as Deadpool's surrender by Wedgie, by the way.
No, not as good.
Look away, child!
God, oh God. Oh boy.
Okay, anyway, so yeah, right. We have a pre-Cranston Dr. Fist because Bryan Cranston eventually did the voice of Dr. Fist awesomely. So again, that's the only other reason I would tell you to check out Seasons Beyond too, because then you get Cranston and Dr. Fist, and it's like, it's really good. Let's see. So, it's a pre-Cranston Dr. Fist voiced by Seth MacFarlane. Basically, I love that Cleveland mentions, well, man, I've never seen a heart attack accompanied by so many abrasions and bruises. Says I was beating my father at the time.
Oh, that's fine. No judgments. No judgments.
Yeah, that's great. And anyway, so he says he'd like to run more tests, but he'd like to run more tests, but would rather be with his family, so he's going home. Again, that's the idea of Dr. Fist. Dr. Fist he's a really good doctor, but he's just kind of like he's just really not all in. He's just kind of like kind of a lazy, kind of self-absorbed doctor. Like he's not like an egomaniac or anything. He's a good doctor. He's just kind of. He's not like gets bored like any person, but at the wrong time.
Kind of sounds almost Hibbert-esque from The Simpsons. Like Hibbert is a very competent doctor, very, very good, but he's just got a lot of patience, so he kind of stretches his resources thin from patient to patient.
And I tell you though, again, it's the only episode I ever tell you to look at Beyond too. It's like the episode where I think it's the first one where Cranston does the voice of Dr. Fist, and Fist becomes the friends with Cleveland and the gang, and you find out he has mob connections, and it's hilarious.
Oh, no.
Basically, it's Cranston running away from the mob after botching some surgery.
Oh, God.
And there's a lot of operation gags. It's pretty funny. So, let's see. So, following that, no judgment. This... Again, this is what I'm talking about. This is what's winning me over on these elements. Is the delivery of the lines. This isn't how I wanted to kill my father.
Yeah, you're right.
just abdicating the most horrible thing in the most hilarious way of delivering. It's like the AIDS. I'm not saying it's of the same caliber, but it's like kind of like the AIDS song. It's like delivering the worst. It's like the worst message delivery, but it's like the worst message you could exposit, but it's like in the most positive, hilarious delivery though.
I hear you.
And then Rallo's asking Junior. This is funny. This is the brilliance of Cleveland Junior. Again, he can be like all sweet, lovable, and Kermit the Frog esque on one end of the spectrum, but he will also like on a dime. He will flip to being the most intimidating MF you've ever seen.
Right.
I seriously, there are episodes where he actually. I won't get into the specifics. So let's just say he has a girlfriend. Let's just say he has a girlfriend, and he basically he wants to set her up with another guy, and basically he threatens the guy like anything. If you try anything, I will find you. I will do horrible things to you. But again, very intimidating. So let's see. So Rallo asked Junior if he what should do about Murray. Like should he let him die? Should he basically send him back to the home or keep his promise? And follow your heart. They says, well, thanks for the worthless platitude. No, again, I love how adult this conversation between the 5-year-old and the 14-year-old.
Okay, then he's gonna die, Rollo. I hope your friend dies. You happy there, Rollo? I hope your friend dies.
Actually, sound a little bit like the first Cleveland Junior.
Oh God, you're right. I kind of do.
You sound a lot like the first Cleveland Junior.
I hope your friend dies, Rollo. I'm Cleveland Junior. Oh.
Then I hope your old friend dies. Happy now, Rallo? Are you happy now? Just stop teasing me. Let's see. So Murray's getting worse. Don and Cleveland ask about some of the things. Ask about the false teeth. They found the dishwasher. Cleveland puts in. Rallo claims it's novelty. Oh, those are my oversized novelty teeth. Cleveland puts them in.
Hey, I'm Joe Biden. My teeth were caught. Like tastes like kosher salami.
God. So gross yet so absurd. then basically he puts on this oversized diaper. Oh, this place is like a joke. Now I'm Larry King. It's like a joke shop in here. I gotta come by here more often. And Rallo, he can't keep it on more any longer. He says he reveals the truth. But basically un-ETs him. He puts back the closet door. Oh, it's not an alien living inside there. It's an old Jewish man. And they send them back, and again, it's like I love the parent. I love it. Donna's like not just chastising or like chewing them out. It's just like saying, "Oh no, honey, you can't keep your dog,
yeah,
your little doggy, essentially." Again, even though your old doggy is an 85-year-old Jewish man.
And then Cleveland, he's like, "I will give you $10 for your teeth."
He clicks them together a few times, and one flies out. This is $8. Actually, I don't want.
I don't want them.
And Murray feels betrayed as he curls up in the Power Turtle sheets, which I love. If you notice the Power Turtles, which are parody of Ninja Turtles, it's so funny.
Right.
The Power Turtles. I just noticed this time. It's like they're basically modern day Ninja Turtles armed with Uzis and knives. Just like in the current society, like that's what we'd go for. We go for the more violent, over ninja style.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe not in modern society. Anyway, like maybe 80s gave us ninja. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Moving on. So let's see. Rallo did the right thing, but Murray's really peeved. He observes how sad and lonely the old folks' home is.
Sad Shirley Brandtree. We got to have that in there.
Oh yeah. Cleveland apologizes the freight train at the hospital. He's encouraging his abusive ways. He's like, oh no, don't do this.
Which again, I have to say is kind of my problem with the storyline. Is that at the end of the day, it's encouraging abuse.
I got to tell you, I'm reading it on the performance of it.
All right.
The performance, I would argue, saves it in this case.
But you understand, at a base level, I think it's a horrible message.
I get it. That's the thing. It is. I'm agreeing with it. It's a horrible message.
Okay.
It's like not about the message though. It's about the way that the message is being delivered.
I hear you.
So imagine if you deliver a pink slip like you did through
I know that you have AIDS song metaphor. I know. I get you.
Let's see. So Cleveland apologizes to Freight Train, and he basically encourages abusive ways. And Freight Train, again, it's kind of like they're like the subtext of what's going on here is like Freight Train. He's coming to grips with. He's getting too old to kind of do the things he used to do, which is it's kind of a nice message, kind of phantomly layered in there. It's like it's kind of a phantom message in there, because I'm just getting too old to beat my grown son. He's getting too old to beat his grown son. Come on, with lines like that. He's getting too old to beat his grown son. You're not supposed to take it seriously with lines like that. Come on.
I'll give you a holiday pass, Dragon.
Yeah, so then just the sweet sentiment of this really wrong moral. I wrote in my notes: sweet sentiment, wrong moral.
That's a good way.
This is like Cleveland crying over his father. He's like, "Oh, you'll do it again next year." I don't know, Tubby. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to beat my own son next year.
If I would have known this would happen, we would have done it on birthdays too. We didn't know. We didn't know.
The thing like Freight Train again. It's like a loving father-son moment, but through horrible means. It's like him saying, "Well, if I knew, I would have shown your birthday too. We didn't know, Daddy. We didn't know." So again, that's what it was.
Yeah, I will admit that line made me laugh. That little last exchange at the end did make me laugh. I'll admit.
That's what I remembered mostly from this.
I'm forgetting.
Yes, I'm just forgetting kind of how clunky it is in the beginning, but that's what I primarily recall from going into this moment here. Is how hilarious this was.
Sure.
So let's see. So after the sentimental moment, it's snowing on Christmas Day.
Oh yeah.
Junior gets. I love Junior's gift selection here. He gets everything he wanted from Miss Donna. He gets a wheelbarrow.
A wheelbarrow with a straw hat. Now I can pretend I'm a relatively ignorant but happy-go-lucky groundskeeper.
Yeah, you sound like you sound like the first Cleveland Junior. It's uncanny.
You know what? At least I sound like the character at some point in his life, right?
You do. I'm just saying, I've never quite heard an impression sound like the first guy before. I mean, I'm impressed. I couldn't do that.
Okay. Well, thank you, I guess. Anyways. So yeah, like we said, I love the absurdity of all the things that Cleveland wants to be. He wants to be a happy-go-lucky, but
yet somewhat ignorant groundskeeper.
I love how he puts in the sub. He could just say happy-go-lucky groundskeeper, but no, but somewhat ignorant. Because he's got to keep it real.
Yep. Okay, let's see. Meanwhile, Rallo visits Murray to bust him out on Christmas. Problem, that basically kind of gets them over their hump of you betrayed me. Like, no, Murray, I want to invite you to my house for Christmas. I'm going to get you out of here. So the problem, how are they going to get out there? Because we know up balloons do not work.
Oh, God.
And we see that security has been upgraded to the Ed 209 models from RoboCop.
Right.
Your room in 10 seconds. And I love the old one's complaining as she's fleeing. And then
I thought this was a jukebox.
And then,
just really, really horrific rapid gunfire.
Well, you've seen RoboCop, right?
No, I still haven't seen RoboCop. I know. I need to see. I know.
Gee, bad, Tiki, bad.
I'm sorry. It looks like a Terminator spoof.
Someone find me a rolled up newspaper.
Is it not a Terminator spoof?
No, it is not a Terminator
what it is?
spoof. It is absolutely not a Terminator spoof.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, I can't even get into it. Let's just. There's so many reasons why it's not a. Oh God. Anyway, moving on. So, they come up with a new window solution. They basically get to the window by the end of the hallway, and we got to take this Rallo. I can't go without them. It says, "Oh, they're coming with us too." Basically, taking all the old folks home. Mm-hmm. The idea is using Cleveland Junior's gifts for good, which leads to a really cool escape using Cleveland Junior's gifts. Basically, they're all they kind of what's the thing you call when you slide down the thing? It's like some sort of lining.
I think it's zip lining. Zip lining.
Thank you. That's the word. They zip line down the garden hose into the wheelbarrow. Unfortunately, there's many more people than expected, and it's weighing them down. The guards are now summoned, and they're seize them essentially.
Get back here with my old people.
Yeah, she has a Jamaican accent, by the way, too. So, but they addressed that in the show at some point, saying in the episode at some point. Saying, oh, that's your friend. That's the orderly with the Jamaican accent, Rallo. So let's see. So Cleveland to the rescue with his cable truck.
Oh yeah.
And this is nice. I love this. Again, the absurdity delivered by Cleveland. Cleveland says, "I've learned something. What happened to my father, I've learned recently the hopelessness of the elderly." And I love he's petting the back of Murray's head, saying,
"America's most precious resource." And Dragon, okay, you know what? Even outside of the up thing, this might be the most laugh out loud moment of the episode. It just cuts to you're watching CBS. I just love how well timed that is. That is such a jab. It's such a good jab.
Oh, yeah.
You're watching CBS.
And I gotta tell you, as much as I love Blue Bloods, it is kind of it does really celebrate the awesomeness of old people.
That's what I'm saying.
I gotta tell you, now I'm amazed by how much of a fan of Blue Bloods I am, because basically it's my way of getting a Commissioner Gordon show without actually having Commissioner Gordon in it.
Oh no! Oh God!
Tom Selleck, literally, I kid you not,
I
kid you not, he actually plays Commissioner Gordon. He basically plays an Irish version of Commissioner Gordon.
Okay, fair enough.
Because he's the commissioner of police, but he does it exactly like every movie he makes is like what Gordon would do. So it's so bittersweet. We have a show with Jim Gordon, and he's not fully realized, and yet we have the real deal here, but he's not no Barbara Gordon.
Okay.
I mean the daughter, not the horrible trainer.
Yes.
So, back to this. So, point is, I love how Cleveland kind of swooped in, he saved the day, and it leads to this really nice thing where the seniors are all at Cleveland's house. And this is a real nice line from Rallo. It's a real simple line, just saying, "Thanks, old Brown. You're a real mensch." That's a sweet line. It shows Rallo's becoming enlightened by Murray, but also he's just having some reverence for Cleveland, because a lot of times the gag is he puts down Cleveland a lot. You know, he's the stepfather. He says, Cleveland, he's a big fat dope. You know, all that sort of stuff.
Right.
Freight train's in good spirits. He asks for more fudgy. And then, bam, blam, he punches him right in the face.
Bitch!
Yep. And this is where this is what I'm talking about. This is where I'm really gravitating. I'm remembering the third act over the other two. I guess that's what it is.
I guess so.
We're just again. This is where all the charm is with the horrible message. It's like Cleveland on the ground with
it's a horrible message, but you're right. I'm not going to say it's not charming. It's just a horrible message. I can't. It's a horrible message, but it's charming. Again, I'm conflicted with it too.
Now this feels like Christmas. Now this feels like Christmas. Again, it's so sweet. It's like the most charming yet horrifying message.
Because basically the message is like, oh, okay, if you were abused as a kid, like, yeah, just let it continue, man. Just let it continue. It's all good.
I mean, let me give you another example. There's another version of this. In Futurama is this great episode where Bender should be on television. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say great, but it's a good episode. It's a good episode where it's Bender shouldn't be allowed on television, and the episode kind of boils down to Bender kind of giving a message to the parents. And it's not necessarily saying they're going to do this, but just it's this horrifying message, but it's in the most loving, dramatic way of him saying, you always say you're basically parents being too busy, but saying, why don't you make time for your kids, you know? You sit down with them and you hit them. He says, but we're so busy. We'll make time. Just make time to beat the children. I mean, again, so in context, it's like it's the
terrible lesson.
Like, spend time with your kids. In this case, well, if they do something wrong, beat them.
Yeah.
But spend time with them.
I don't know how to feel about that. I really don't.
I'm saying, out of context, it sounds horrible. I know. Out of context, much like this, a little better.
All right.
A little better. So let's see. So following that, here's the actual heartfelt moment of the episode. So following the beating has come to a close. Now we're on to the actual heart of the episode. This is the big reason to talk about this one. It's a real nice moment. Rallo shows Murray a little surprise he's got in the kitchen. It's a little Hanukkah set up in the kitchen. It's got a menorah. It's got a dreidel, and is the gift on the last day of Hanukkah, a cash register. That's nice. It's an old school cash register too. It's kind of it's a little antique. It's nice.
Right. Yeah, it's nice.
And asking, it's so sweet saying the line following this is, will you basically get all this for his Hebrew? Get it?
Hebrew. Yeah, that was fun.
So it's really
you told
nice.
me you stopped celebrating because you're alone. Well, this year you're not alone.
And again, it's the way that's delivered. It sounds so genuine, so sweet.
It is.
Like you got to see the friendship develop between these two guys, and this was the beginning. It's like you have a Casablanca, and this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. These two guys are going to be really good pals going forward. It's really
okay.
Nice. Okay. All is well with, and we end it with the mechanical. We wish you a Merry Christmas. And the last note is a flat line, so it's not.
Which I gotta say that was more than a little bit disturbing.
Well, the nurse is there. I mean, even Miss Bailey, she's on board. I guess she kind of get cooled off, and then she's like, "Yeah, okay, it's festivities." And then she realized, "Oh my God, it's a horrible mistake. I've actually lost an old person."
Right.
Now we're gonna get sued. We need a lawyer. Who are we gonna call? If there was some sort of "Gimme Jimmy," that's the phrase. Someone call my lawyer.
Oh, we'll get to that. It's imminent. It's imminent, folks. It's coming up. But, okay.
Dawn of Saul. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, sir.
Cranston versus Odenkirk. Dawn of Justice.
Oh, geez, who's who? I don't know. Cranston's kind of has superpowers, but everyone's been wanting him to be Batman, and he's been Commissioner Gordon.
I think Cranston has to be Batman.
Yeah.
Because think about it. Because with Saul, with Jimmy McGill, he tries to use his powers for good. He tries, at least with Jimmy McGill. Anyway,
you have Saul. You S for Saul, S for Superman.
Yes. Anyways. So final thoughts on Merry Christmas.
Again, there are some more subjective elements that I recall, and really examining and kind of going over it. Yeah, it's kind
of some stuff that's just a little bit uncomfortable to just even talk about, frankly.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of subjective stuff. Depends on your sense of humor. I'm good with a majority of it, but I'll admit some elements probably aren't as funny. Really kind of lending a critical eye to it. But yeah, I think the third act still holds up well enough, though.
The third act holds up well. I think the Murray stuff in general is really fun. Good E.T. parody. And one of the better pop culture references I've seen in the McFarlane umbrella of his comedy works. So, you know, just the up parody was kind of worth the price of admission alone. So
American Dad had a good Pixar reference once where they mentioned
God.
it was like in dialogue. They mentioned I want to say it was Stan Smith who was mentioning. Oh yes, this whole new Pixar film. It's called Laundry or Luggage or something. And then it was it's Laundry, and John Ratzenberg had a little cameo.
Nice.
Yeah, it's something. It was like a little, like basically saying Pixar can make anything work, and that was a positive joke. You know, it's no. I eat negative jabs at Pixar. It always ticks me off.
Okay, so
I'm looking at you, Robot Chicken, with your Toy Story 4 jokes. You sick SOBs. Seriously, if I find out the writer who made anyway.
Oh god. So tropes here. Tropes.
Okay, let's see. So going from the beginning, you're gonna have our Christmas title card.
Yeah. The angel at the top of the tree.
Yeah, performing for the old folks.
Oh yeah.
Kind of
the Jewish character around the holidays.
Yep. Learning what Hanukkah is.
Learning what Hanukkah is. Indeed.
Yep. Unlikely friendship around the holidays.
Unlikely friendship. Special guest star Rob Reiner, or not Rob Reiner. Carl Reiner. I'm sorry.
We have. I mentioned to entertain the old folks around the holidays. Let's see what family traditions.
Family traditions. Yep.
Yep. Absurd gifts.
Mentions of Mall Santa.
Snow.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hello? I can hear you.
Okay, just checking.
Yes, hello.
Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Sorry.
I get sure now I'm getting paranoid. Let's hurry up.
Now I'm getting paranoid. All right.
Come on, what else we got?
I'm trying to look. We don't really have that much this episode, to tell you the truth.
We have the heartfelt Hanukkah gift.
Sure. Or just the heartfelt, like, big gift in general.
We have kind of a Christmas party at the end with the old folks.
Christmas party with unconventional characters, would you say?
Sure. We have our Christmas songs. So with the, please come on Christmas, and
right.
And we wish you Merry Christmas, done in mechanical old folks.
Oh God. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, not the most productive episode of Christmas in July, but we hope you liked it nonetheless, because that's what we like to do here. We like to kind of take some of the good, some of the bad, some of the in-between, some of the weird, some of the wild, some of the unexpected, and narrow it down and really examine the tropes of each of these different kind of qualities of Christmas specials.
Yeah, but Tiki, it just always bugs the crap out of me. We do not have a name, an actual name, like a little moniker to just kind of wrap around this process, this moving process. If only there was just like a little kind of onomatopoeic, maybe not onomatopoeic, just more kind of alliterative. Just like I need two M. I'm sensing M's. We need M's in a phrase of some kind of trouble we do here. Well, got any ideas, Tiki?
Maybe putting the mistletoe underneath a microscope?
Sure.
Next time on Christmas in July. Fa la 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 la. Oh my God, that's not what happened in the movie. Oh man, oh sorry man, I'm only 5. Hold on, I'll shoot you down with my BB gun.